One quote that I like to live by is, "Life is uncertain, eat dessert first." These wise words are credited to Ernestine Ulmer, a small-time American writer. As fellow students at WIU, you understand that money's tight. We don't often get to enjoy the luxuries of desserts, but if you follow these simple steps, you'll have an inexpensive and easy way to satisfy your sweet tooth. Throughout my life, my mom has avidly baked, and I've had the pleasure of not only learning from her, but also getting to taste her food. I feel like after all my years in the kitchen, I now have a good grasp on how to bake a cake. Throughout this speech, I hope that you all gain the skills that you need to make your own homemade cake. Knowing how to bake a cake is a very useful skill that you can use throughout your life. Throughout this speech, I will start by mixing the batter, then bake the cake, and then decorate it. Though some people think that making your own homemade cake is a daunting task, I'll show you it's as easy as a stir, a pour, and a little patience, especially with an easy recipe from Country Living. We'll start by preheating the oven to 350 degrees. The 9 ingredients that you'll need for this cake include butter, sugar, 2 eggs and 2 egg yolks, vanilla, flour, baking powder, and some salt, and finally some milk. So we'll start by beating a half cup of butter and mixing that with 1 cup of sugar. Next, we'll add eggs, each one at a time. Followed by a little vanilla. Now for the dry ingredients. We'll start by using 1 1/4 cup of flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which I've already combined here. So we'll whisk this all together. And we'll add this while we also pour in a half cup of milk. So we'll start by adding about 1/3 of the mixture, and then a little milk. Another 1/3, the rest of the milk, and finally the last part of the dry mixture. And we'll beat this until it's smooth. For this cake, we'll be using an 8-inch round pan, which I've already pre-greased with some cooking spray. Valerie Delp gives us some interesting information about sugar when she said that desserts were first invented in the Middle Ages when sugar was able to be manufactured. However, only the wealthy really had access to it because they had the money to afford it. So now we're going to pour the batter into the pan. And you'll cook this for about 35 to 40 minutes. Now that our cake is baked, to recap on the batter, we started by adding sugar and butter, followed by some eggs and some vanilla, and then we mixed the dry ingredients together and added the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients with a little milk. Once the cake is baked, it's time to decorate. We're going to start by cutting the cake in 2, filling it with pudding, and then finally frosting it. So like I said, we're going to cut the cake in 2 horizontally. We will first remove the top, fill the middle with vanilla pudding, which I've pre-prepared, and then after that, we will replace the top and cover it with chocolate frosting. This makes it a true Boston cream pie cake. Other things you can decorate the cake with include candles for someone's birthday, or even candy, fruit, or whipped cream. That is one good-looking cake, if I have to say. So to decorate, we had to cut the cake in 2, fill it with pudding, and then eventually frost it. Throughout the demonstration, like I said, mixed the batter, baked the cake, and then decorated it to make this good-looking cake. Being able to bake a cake is a really important skill that you can have and use throughout your entire life. So, next time you head to the store, be sure to pick up these easy ingredients so you can make your own homemade cake. And remember, When life is uncertain, eat dessert first.